Coach, that's two big wins. I mean, we saw Oklahoma State take out Colorado Mesa right before you guys. So obviously, they're not ranked, but you can see what level they're at. So what was it like, to get two wins over programs like that today?
No, absolutely. When setting up this opportunity to have a duel against Oklahoma State, I knew that they were going to be tough. They have Daniela Nugent, who took fifth at Worlds at U20s, and they have, I try to recruit some of the women on their team. So just knowing the level of student athletes on their program, definitely wanted the opportunity to create this environment for our team, our program, by having Oklahoma State and Colorado Mesa. Colorado Mesa, they also have U20 World team member on their team. Unfortunately, didn't get a chance to step across the mat from her, but they have great ranked athletes on their student athletes on their team. So definitely a good opportunity to continue to challenge our women in an environment as supportive and educated as everyone here in Carver. So.
Lily strikes me as someone who's in her career in high school at least kind of, continuously stepped up and got better. Is that something you've seen in her time here at Iowa?
Absolutely. That's a testament to who Lily is. She pours in the work and effort on a consistent and daily basis. It's, when you have someone as driven as Lily in all aspects of her life, not just on the wrestling mat, she's going to work towards just getting better, right? And try to focus on just developing her own self and who she is and bringing herself out to the mat. So with a combination of her drive and her efforts and her work ethic, it's a recipe for just upward growth for her.
Going back to Oklahoma State, you obviously don't have control over when or if they become a D1 varsity program, but how much was today kind of, Iowa's way, your way of giving back and maybe showing the folks down in Stillwater that, this is a great thing and the sport is ready for another program with this kind of history?
That's the big essence of why I chose Iowa. The opportunity to, celebrate the fact that Iowa gave this opportunity. It doesn't stop here, and it shouldn't stop here. We, in the beginnings, our very first year, we went to Princeton, right? Supported their open tournament. They had great people in the past to help try to foster and build their women's program. We want that. We're gonna go to the places and the programs at a D1 level that wants to foster and grow women's wrestling. So it, for me, was a no-brainer that they have a club. Hey, do you have all 10 weights? Let's do it in Carver. We want this, and we don't want to hide anything of how to create opportunities for young women. If I get a call from their director of ops and they have questions on what do we do as far as this, that, and whatnot on building a program, happy to share, because it only makes us all better in so many ways to create an environment to offer opportunities for more women to have a choice of where they want to go if they can choose to go to Oklahoma State, Iowa, any Big Ten school, ACC school, and Ivies, and so on and so forth. We want to build and grow women's wrestling, and so it only made sense.
How challenging is it, or what are the challenges of Kennedy wrestling in two weight classes in one day, 160 and 180? What's that like for her?
Yeah, just like she said, she just wrestles whoever steps in front of her. In the wrestling room, she is wrestling anywhere from the 45 pounders to the 180 pounders. So it's not uncommon for her to wrestle with people bigger or smaller than her or her weight class. And that's she's great. She knows how to wrestle. The biggest thing is making sure you protect yourself, keep yourself safe. We want to get underneath anyone in any compromising position, wrestling in a weight class that's not truly her weight class. So that's the biggest thing.
Another duel without Kylie Welker. Is there any update on when we might be able to see her make her season debut?
Yeah, she's on the mat. She's training it really was just giving her the time she needs. She's had a busy summer, right? She did everything. She did senior C23, everything, you know, and just allowing her body to just reset and come back. You know, we'll see her next year. You know, we do have another dual and open to finish off this 2025 year, but we'll see her on the mat this season, and just gotta be smart about how we schedule these like competitions for each of our student athletes, especially specifically like the Kylie, the Kennedys, you know, the Breeze, you know, who have had a busy summer representing Team USA and the Hawkeyes. So.
Going to 145, Cadence and Reese are both at that weight class. Cadence bumping up today. You referenced earlier how, you know, getting under a bigger opponent, that can be tough. Just what have you liked from Cadence this year, even in some losses against bigger, good opponents? And then to Reese, what did you see from her in the second period of the two matches today?
Yeah, like, great question. You know, it's always hard to ask someone to go up, you know, because it's not the weight class they normally compete at, and I'm just grateful that Cadence is healthy through the process as she fights for Iowa, fights for the team, fights for fights out there. You know, I thought her first period was great. She looked awesome on top of, like, executed a lot of great things. And you know, it's those moments where it's like, I hope she doesn't hang her head too low, because that doesn't define her, or it's not even the weight class she competes at, you know. So, like, always grateful for her for stepping up for the team and putting up a fight, you know, and in a weight class she doesn't compete in. And then for Reese, you know, it was great to see her open up in her matches and kind of create, like, her first match to the second match, two different, like, executions of her style that she put out there. So, you know, and that's what we want. We want them to open up and just have fun with it, right? There are moments where she had to create, like, opportunities to wrestle to the next position and the next situation, and those are the moments that were more exciting, you know, rather than standing in front and whatnot. So Reese did a great job in both matches.
And just kind of two big moments from the duel. Carly getting that win there, just kind of what was your reaction to the match up until that point? What did you see on the winning score? And then Libby Dix ending the duel with her first win at Carver.
Yeah.
Just what's that like for you as a coach to give her that opportunity and then see her seize it?
Yeah, with Carly, you know, those are the moments that are really exciting, because when you're down and they continue to wrestle to try to look to score, that's what we want, right? We don't want anyone to be down in points and give up on themselves. We want them to find a solution, find a way, figure it out there, and just keep just going after it, you know, like, because her attacks were there, she was going for it, and it was just little matter of inches, millimeters sometimes, if the hand connects and whatnot, or the positioning, right? So those are the moments that feel good, because it's like you're not giving up on yourself. The 6 minutes is not up, and you're still wrestling and finding a way to score the next point. And scoring the next point leads to a pin. That's even better, you know. And then to have Libby Dix, you know, 20 minutes away from Iowa City is just so cool, you know. True freshman, putting her out there, and really it was, why not? You know, she's been looking great. She in the room, she's a competitor, and let's just see what Libby Dix can do in Carver, you know. And it was amazing. It was fun to watch, and I just enjoyed hearing the crowd erupt for her. So.
Anything else?
You mentioned before Christmas break, you guys got a couple competitions left.
Mm-hmm.
Cool opportunity going to Grandview, or going to Waukee High School to duel them. And then, you know, you had Missouri Valley a couple weeks ago, and North Central is maybe as good, maybe even better than that tournament next Sunday. What are you looking for going into Christmas break as your athletes try and handle class and a couple big opportunities on the mat?
Just continuing to bring out their best version of themselves. You know, we're not always we're not looking, well, we want to win everything, right? But we're not looking for that. We're not like letting off the gas in that regards. We just want to continue to test our women to bring out their best version of themselves. And you know, we have great depth on our program, which we're so grateful for, and it gives them opportunity for another student athlete to step in if needed. And then North Central, yeah, tough tournament ahead. You know, it's right before finals, so we're definitely taking a look at like who's going and who's not, because school comes first. You know, there's a good amount of them that might have finals the very next day on a Monday. 3 finals in a row. We're not going to send them if they got 3 finals on a Monday. Not the most ideal situation to have a hard competition paired up with the stressors of finals. So we recognize that, but we always want to give opportunity to everyone on our team. This year, Missouri Valley had a cap on how many we could bring. North Central doesn't, so if we could bring the whole team, we'll bring the whole team. Our women rise to the occasion. They want to be challenged. We have Ukraine in for 2 weeks, and we have part of like the national team for USA in for 2 weeks as well. So this is a nice push for the next 2 weeks before they go on break, because it's nice for them to get different looks, different feels. They can learn from each other in an environment like this, and so grateful for the University of Iowa for providing these type of opportunities for our women.
Awesome. Thank you.